Jai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga Shri Prabhupada Ki. The temple. So the temple was about that. Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jashodananda Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vihari Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hari Bol.
Speaker of the house is fired and he's still trying to figure out who that's from. House of Representatives. You guys don't follow politics, do you? Just do politics. You can all speak. Maybe Nimai Prabhu can speak.
Please speak.
Please speak. What are we supposed to speak on? Should we do the verses or should we just skip the verses? I think if we don't skip the verses, then everyone's going to get a problem. Okay, please repeat after. You can put up the verses. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, Narayana, everyone together. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet nashtaprayeshva bhadresha nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. What next? Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshushuन्मीलितं येन Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The 10 offenses to the holy names. No. So happy Diwali. Anyone want to share the significance of what's going on? There are several days that are celebrated. Today is Narak Chaturdashi, 14th day. Tomorrow is actual Diwali. You know what Narak Chaturdashi is celebrated for? Chaturdashi is the 14th day of anything. So Chaturdashi is, Ekadashi is 11, Dvadashi is 12, Trayodasi is 13, and Chaturdashi is 14. So 14. So anyways, today is Narak Chaturdashi. What is that, Narak Chaturdashi? Anyone want to go? Give it a shot. Why? Narkasura was killed. Who is Narkasura? Demons. Okay? I'm one of the demons too. Some son of Mother Earth and son of Mother Earth and
Brahadev.
Varaha. He's the son of Varaha. So, question for you, Nimai, Prabhu, and maybe Jose. You can combine efforts. Why is the son of Varaha, the boar incarnation of the Lord, a demon? Place. Which place?
Taken into the ocean by, I forgot who.
Hiranyaksha.
Hiranyaksha, yes. Yeah, so it was like said, everything affects time, place, and circumstances.
That is one reason. What else? What does Srila Prabhupada say? I think that's what Srila Prabhupada... Let me take that back. That's what... Yes, Jose Prabhu.
I feel like Krishna also needs like souls to perform as demons so that he can fight.
Krishna needs someone to fight with. The standard answers. Karma, Krishna, offenses. But yeah, it's one of the standard answers too. Actually, it is association. He got into really bad association. Well, we won't discuss that too much, but yeah, it's really amazing that even the son of the Supreme Lord, direct of Mother Earth and the Supreme Lord, in the wrong association can completely swap, to the extent that he did some very vicious stuff. He actually stole, the wives of so many kings, 16,100 queens. And they were imprisoned in his pretty enormous palace. So, long story short, Krishna went with Satyabhama. So that's another thing that, you can take your wives along when you go to fight. Or the wives can take the husband along when you fight, whichever way you want to go with that. Yes. And then he killed Narkasura. And what to do with all these princesses? 16,100 princesses. What did he do?
He married them.
Yeah, he married them. What would you do, Chandra Mohan Prabhu? Yeah, don't try this at home. Yeah, but so something like that. Anyways, there's all kinds of pastimes that are all different things that happen, but it just shows what bad association can do. So tomorrow is Diwali. On the day also we celebrate Govardhan Puja. It's the day when Mother Yashoda was actually preparing various different things because it's a festival. And while the festival is going on, of course Krishna has to be naughty. So then nice butter was churned and our man decided to break the churning pot because of various different reasons, which we will hopefully find out tomorrow. Stay tuned in. Okay, we'll repeat. This is the verse we're supposed to sing. Okay.
The theme is Kapila is explaining why he incarnates, and then Karnamuni is...
So why don't you just speak? I mean, if you know everything.
This is what it says on...
Okay, all right. And then Devahoti is doing what?
Huh?
Kapila is explained why he incarnates and
then Karnamuni is leaving home.
oh, he hasn't left yet. Okay, all right then. All right, let's repeat. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalaukike Atha Jani Maya Tubhyam Yadavocham Vratam Mune Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalaukike Atha Jani Maya Tubhyam Yadavocham Vratam Mune Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalaukike Atha Jani Maya Tubhyam Yadavocham Vratam Mune Shri Bhagavan Vacha Lokasya Pramanam Satyalokike Atha Jani Maya Tubhyam Yadavocham Ritam Mune Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalaukike Atha Jani Maya Tubhyam Yadavocham Vratam Mune Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Proktam Hi Lokasya Pramanam Satyalaukike Janani Maya Tubhyam Yadavocham Ratam Mune. Okay. Let's repeat. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Maya, by me, Proktam, spoken, He, in fact, Lokasya, for the people, Pramanam, authority, Satya, spoken in scripture, Laukike, and in ordinary speech. Atha, therefore, Ajani, there was birth, Maya, by me, Tubhyam, to you, Yat, that which, Avocham, I said, Ratam, true, Mune, O sage. Translation and purport by His Divine Loving Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The Personality of Godhead Kapila said, whatever I speak, whether directly or in the scriptures, if whatever he speaks directly or in the scriptures is the truth. Basically, let's see. Yeah, is authoritative in all respects for the people of the world. O Muni, because I told you before that I would become your son, I have descended to fulfill this truth. Purport. Kardama Muni was to leave his family life to completely engage in the service of the Lord. But since he knew that the Lord himself, as Kapila, had taken birth in his home as his own son, why was he preparing to leave home to search out self-realization or God realization? God himself was present in his home. Why should he leave home? Such a question may certainly arise. But here it is said that whatever is spoken in the Vedas and whatever is practiced in accordance with the injunction of the Vedas is to be accepted as authoritative in society. Vedic authority says that a householder must leave home after his 50th year. Pancha shordhavam vanam rajet. One must leave his family life and enter the forest after the age of 50. This is an authoritative statement of the Vedas based on the division of social life into 4 departments of activity: brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Kardama Muni practiced yoga very rigidly as a brahmachari before his marriage, and he became so powerful and attained so much mystic power that his father, Brahma, ordered him to marry and beget children as a householder. Kardama Muni did that also, and he begot 9 good daughters and 1 son, Kapila Muni. And thus, his householder duty was also performed nicely, and now his duty was to leave. Even though he had the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his son, he had to respect the authority of the Vedas. This is a very important lesson. Even if one has God in his home as a son, one should still follow the Vedic injunctions. It is stated, Mahajano yena gata sapantaha. One should traverse the path which is followed by great personalities. Kardama Muni's example is very instructive, for in spite of having the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his son, he left home just to obey the authority of the Vedic injunction. Kardama Muni states here that the main purpose of his leaving home while traveling all over the world as a mendicant, he would always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart and thereby be freed from all the anxieties of material existence. In this age of Kali Yuga, sannyas is prohibited because persons in this age are all Shudras and cannot follow the rules and regulations of sannyas life. It is very commonly found that so-called sannyasis are addicted to nonsense, even to having private relationships with women. This is the abominable situation in this age. Although they dress themselves as sannyasis, they still cannot free themselves from the 4 principles of sinful life, namely illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. Since they are not freed from these 4 principles, they are cheating the public by posing as swamis. In Kali Yuga, the injunction is that no one should accept sannyas. Of course, those who are actually following the rules of regulations must take sannyas. Generally, however, people are unable to accept sannyas life, and therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu states, Kalau nasti eva nasti eva nasti eva gatiranyatha. In this age, there is no other alternative than to chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The main purpose of sannyas life is to be in constant companionship with the Supreme Lord, either by thinking of Him within the heart or hearing of Him through oral reception. In this age, hearing is more important than thinking because one's thinking may be disturbed by mental agitation. But if one concentrates on hearing, he will be forced to associate with the sound vibration of Krishna. Krishna and the sound vibration Krishna are not different. So one loudly vibrates, Hare Krishna. He will be able to think of Krishna immediately. This process of chanting is the best process of self-realization in this age. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya preached it so nicely for the benefit of all humanity. Any questions? So there are 3 primary themes in this particular verse. The first theme is, anyone want to give that a shot? What was the first theme in the purport? The Vedic injunctions. The whole idea of following Vedic injunctions. The second theme was? Yes, sannyas. That one should follow Vedic injunctions, and the natural progression of that is one has to leave one's household. And then the last one was? Chant the holy names. So there are some very interesting points. Srila Prabhupada asked this very wonderful question, when you have God at home, why leave home? And very, very powerful question that is asked. What was, Yeah, that's what Srila Prabhupada says at the beginning. It's really nice progression on what is necessary. So let's talk about that a little bit. What did Kardama Muni had to do before he was eligible to actually leave home?
Ensure his duties were taken care of.
Ensure his duties were taken care of, which was
He had a son.
he had a son and he had 9 daughters. Yes, he fulfilled the wishes of Devahuti. And what else? He followed brahmacharya. What does that mean? Any one of you brahmachari here? Oh! Anyone brahmachari? Anyone else? Just one? What are the other guys? Are you sure? What about Jose? Brahmachari? Maybe? No, brahmacharini? Which one? Pick one. Grahastha? What is that? Brahmastha? Somewhere in the middle of a brahmachari and a grahastha. Yeah, we should make new ashrams in the Kali Yuga. I don't know what I am. But what is the primary thing about brahmacharya? What are the primary... Srila Prabhupada, you want to go to Vedabase and search brahmachari? That's the Brahmana. I agreed. His phone agrees with me. That's the Brahmana.
Serving the spiritual master.
Yeah, let's do a search. Yeah, serving the spiritual, let's search. Let's zoom down and zoom brahmachari. Yeah, there we go. Let's do a search and let's see what shows up. It was really interesting. But now keep going. Let's see if we can search just on books. Jump to facet filters. Yeah, there you go, book. Brahmacharis. I think do a Y after the I instead of the I. Do a C-A-R-Y instead of C-H-A. Yeah, try that. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Keep going down. Let's see what we can find. Okay, here you go. Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita. The basic principle of brahmachari life was celibacy. What is celibacy? Become a celebrity? No. What is celibacy? Yeah. No sex. Why? Yeah, by practicing celibacy, the brahmachari would develop great powers of memory and sensory control. And if such a trained brahmachari later decides to take a wife, his sex life would be regulated, not licentious. What is licentious? Yeah, without regulation, basically. Sex without any regulation, just whenever you want to. More instinctive, like an animal. Jai Shri Radha Kalachandji Bhagwan ki jai. Krishna doesn't want to hear about brahmacharis. Yes, but although brahmachari life was necessary for the healthy society, so then it continues. Okay, so this is very, very nice. We can keep going on. I really like to read the purport with, Srila Prabhupada's explanation of certain things. This whole idea of brahmacharya, to create really strong characters, is very, very important. Yes. Men and women should not be mixing together, because it's like butter and fire. Do you like it or not? Butter melts when there's fire. So there has to be regulated, very regulated mixing. Because if that doesn't happen, then we will not be able to be in a position to accept spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge requires that the minds are controlled, that the senses are controlled, that the hearts are pure. Yes, one of the principles the Shridhamanya Brahmachari here mentioned was that one has to follow strictly the orders of the spiritual master. But before that, one has to have a spiritual master. What's a spiritual master? A master is one who actually guides the disciple in all circumstances to the supreme goal of loving service to the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Yes. And the brahmachari is completely surrendered to the desire of the spiritual master. Yes, this obedience makes one very powerful. Discipline, disciple, discipline. Discipline makes one very powerful. Yes, because Krishna reveals within the heart so many wonderful things that one can perform. And one does that, one follows that principle, irrespective of who one is. Yes, even Krishna, Sri Ram, you see, whenever Krishna appears himself personally or in his various incarnations, he follows the injunctions of the scripture. Yes, he himself was a brahmachari, went to the ashram of, whose ashram did he go to? Sandipani Muni. Yes, very strictly followed. Sandipani Muni said, okay, thunderstorm is coming, that's okay, you go and collect sticks for the fire so that we can have yagya tomorrow. All right. Our man goes out. In the night he's hiding with Sudama. And in the morning, Sandipani Muni comes and takes him. Yes, learned all the different 64 arts from Sandipani Muni. Yes, he had to, both Krishna and Balaram. Yes. So this principle is very important. Yes, and why is that principle important? Because without the basis of the scripture, really we don't have a version of the truth. Yes. And if Krishna, when he comes, and he can, if he wants to, completely disregards the injunctions of the scriptures, does not follow what his prescribed responsibilities are, and Krishna mentions that in the Gita, right? Yadyadacharati shreshtas tattadeva itarajana. What is it? Yatat pramanam kurute tattadeva tattat anuvartate, something. The point is that whatever great men do, common men follow, and whatever example that they set by their activities, that becomes the pramanam. Yes, in this verse we talk about, that becomes the standard by which everyone else lives. Yes. So what's going on in the world today is because we don't have great men or women, for that matter, to follow. And so we don't have a version of the truth. Everyone has their own version of the truth. Yes. Pick any side of any quarrel that's going on around the world. Not that there are any quarrels going on, but if there are quarrels going on, everyone has their version of the truth. But what is the absolute truth? Yes. What is the absolute truth? And to disregard the injunction of the scriptures and act whimsically is called a pashandi, a pretender. Yes. And that's, Srila Prabhupada goes to the next phase where he calls this bogus sannyasis and even brahmacharis and whatever grasthas and vanaprasthas, whatever, you wear a saffron cloth, and essentially he says that they engage in all kinds of illicit activities. One has to strictly follow these regulations. What is the life of a sannyasi? What is the life of a brahmachari? What is the life of a grahastha? what it's supposed to do. It's all within the injunctions of the scriptures. Yes. For the brahmachari, no association with women. Not even unnecessary talking with the opposite sex. No unnecessary talking in principle. Just primarily, just completely focused on following the instructions of the Guru, reading the scriptures properly, pathanam, and to explain the scriptures to others. Yes. Preachers of the holy names. Yes. And the Grahastha is supposed to then take the training that he has taken in the brahmachari ashram and then lead a very regulated life with one wife or one husband. Yes. And contribute. The responsibility of the Grahastha is to contribute, is to give charity. The Grahastha is the only one that deals with money and women. Yes. No one else. The other ashrams basically completely have nothing to do with money. The Grahasthas are supposed to support these other ashrams so that they can actually do whatever is necessary. Yes. The Vanaprastha goes along different levels of Vanaprastha, goes along with his wife to different places and serves unconditionally the deities without any expectations of return. Just serves pilgrims. Yes. Or contributes to the mission of the spiritual master in some way or the other. Completely detached from family life. No worries about where money is going to be coming from. Where is my retirement fund? No worries about retirement. It's really beautiful Vedic life. You don't worry about it. Right from the very beginning, the first thing you take up a job, the first thing you should save for retirement. Vedic scriptures forget retirement. There is no such thing. You just take care of our family properly, and when the time comes, 50, 70, whatever that thing is, 50 years old, you and your wife leave. Don't worry. Nothing is going to happen. Whatever happens, grandchildren, gone. Completely dedicate one's life to the service of Srila Prabhupada. Or to this life to the mission of the spiritual master. Free from all anxieties. Yes. And take that very, very seriously. Yes, the Vanaprastha takes that very, very seriously. It's not that one continues to work, 50 years old, I have to maintain. No. Free yourself. Completely serve and then live a very austere life. Prepare for the next stage, which is sannyas. Both husband and wife. Very austere life. Yes. Do absolute menial service. No leadership positions. That is for the others. Yes. And the only leadership is spiritual leadership, where one can actually speak from experience, because now you've gone through brahmachari life, you've gone through grahastha life, and now you have that experience which can help everyone else in those ashrams very nicely. Yes. Tat pramana kurute, lokas tat anuvartate. Set those examples, set those standards of how to live very austere life. Eat simply, live simply, don't worry about where am I going to get my next meal. If you get a meal, you eat, otherwise you don't. Because you're trained like that in brahmachari life, yes? You know what brahmachari is supposed to do? If the spirit, you eat only when? The spiritual master asks you to. If the spiritual master doesn't ask you to, you don't even eat. If the spiritual master is just completely in samadhi, just don't eat. Fast. Austerity is huge. You know how much power you can get with austerity? No one can touch you if your needs are so little. The entire society needs people like those. Yes, everyone is forced. They're saying, if you don't do this, you will die. No, I can live off of a little bit of yogurt. Yes, if you can say that, how powerful will you be? You can say what you want to from your heart. Present Krishna's message as it is. Yes. Because you're free at that point when you're actually free from that, the connection with the body. Yes? The senses become weak when you don't feed them. So austerity is a strong principle. So when you're prepared for that in Vanaprastha ashram, you're ready for it. It's like, okay, if I get some food, I'll eat. If I don't, don't. Little bit of rice if possible. If not, whatever is available, Krishna will protect. Leftovers is happy. Last one to eat. One should have that every year. As devotees, we should practice that. Live very, very simple life. No expectations, nothing. So we come to the point, unfortunately, that we even criticize prasadam. Too spicy. No spice. Too mild. I need pickle with it. Or I need, then why? Prasadam. Too attached to the tongue, sometimes we are. I remember when someone takes the last piece of sweet, he's in front of us and takes 3 pieces of sweets, Heart becomes, oh my God. Right? And then we prepare for sannyas. And that sannyas in Srila Prabhupada, she says, Kali Yuga, no one can take sannyas. Kalo Shudra Sambhava. Everyone is born a Shudra. Yes. And hence sannyas in this perspective is to actually renounce oneself completely from any material considerations. Both husband and wife. Yes. The wife stays in one place and the sannyasi and the husband travels, goes away. Travels to different places and preaches the message of the Lord. Without any obstructions, any limitations. Yes. And the way Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport we take sannyas is by constantly hearing. Yes, he says, more than thinking in the Kali Yuga, what can you think? Your mind is completely gone. You start thinking Instagram. Yes. More than thinking, hear. Because Krishna's name is so powerful that just by hearing, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Yes. What is that? Shushu Shrot Shatadhanasya Vasudevam Kathaya Suya. What is it? What next? San Mahat Sevaya Vipra. Anyways, the point being that just by hearing from whom and how, yes, from someone whose heart is pure. And how? Submissively. Submissive reception. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Very submissively hearing. How can I free myself from the attachments of this body? How can I free myself from the attachments of my own mind, of my own false ego, of my understanding that I am so great that I can now instruct people? How can I be so foolish? But at the same time, follow your instructions nicely. Yes. So then when you ask these questions, the great devotees help us. Yes, this is how you do it. Yes. The constant hearing, one purifies one's heart. One naturally within the heart becomes a sannyasi. One has to aspire for that. One has to pray for that. One has to desire for that. For simplicity, for renunciation. Then one should leave. One should leave what? The attachments that force us to stay within this society that we see, which is so terribly disturbed. Unless and until we are free from that same disturbance, how are we going to help the society? This is the time when we are really needed out there to actually present the truth. So what nonsense are you guys doing? On what basis are you fighting? You're fighting for pieces of land that are going to become your graveyards. True? Anyone? That's true. Without purifying your heart, killing millions and millions of people, presenting theories and philosophies and this, that, and then and in the guise of scientific advancement, and saying that yes, now the truth is Chat GPT. The only version of the truth. Well, I asked the same question 3 times, you get 4 different answers. How do you know the version of the truth? This is where proper training, proper purification of the heart is very, very important, and that is where this is the prerogative of the devotees within the Hare Krishna movement. That is the prerogative. That's the reason why Srila Prabhupada came here. Several times he said, I didn't come here to change you from Christians to Hare Krishnas or Muslims to Hare Krishnas or Hindus to Hare Krishnas. None of this. I came here to remind you of what the purpose of the human form of life is. Follow these principles, follow the responsibilities, purify yourself, help the society in general, and when you're done, go back home. Finish. No more connections. Agreed? Maybe? No? Yes. And Srila Prabhupada gave us a very simple process. 3 things. Yes, very simple. What does he say? 3 things. The Krishna consciousness movement, we only do 3 things. What do we do?
Dance, take prasad.
Yeah. Chanting, dancing, and feasting. Austerity, chanting, what happened? But you will not be able to chant if you are not austere. We will not be able. We won't be able to dance if you are not austere. If our hearts are completely free. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Shuklambar Brahmachari, he was dancing like nothing. He had nothing at all. He was a beggar. And in the kirtan, he was just completely dancing, wildly dancing. Have you seen wild dancing? I don't think you've seen wild dancing. Don't do these things these days. So we should be wildly dancing because there is no false ego that's pushing us down. That false ego is not pushing us. What will people think? Jai Shri Radha Kalachandji Bhagwan ki Jai Shri Gaunata Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Yes. So if he can't dance, if he can't dance, that means our false ego has an anchor. It's our false ego is anchoring us down. And then feasting. The greatest feast is the tasting of the holy names of the Lord. But of course we shall also feast on the prasadam, the offerings that are given by the Lord. So today is a special feast, I believe, prepared by Mother Kunkumangi for the occasions of Diwali and Govardhan Puja coming up and Narak Chaturdashi and everything else. Should I say, is that all? Is it good? Is that right? Is that what it's supposed to be? Clap at the end so that people stop speaking. Shut up now, get out. What is all that? Yeah, we used to do that, when we were in college, basically, when there was a professor that was giving like the middle of this, everyone really loudly. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Any comments? Anyone like to comment? Yes.
Question. It's kind of a small question, but we see in the purport Prabhupada is saying that we have to follow the Vedic injunctions, and from what I understood, the goal of Varnashram is Krishna. Krishna is the goal of Varnashram, and if you've already attained Krishna, we see that in the example of the Acharyas, that they don't have this need to follow Varnashram anymore. And then we see this case of Kadamba when he's already attained Krishna, but still Prabhupada is saying that following Varnashram is more important. So if you have
Yeah, we will discuss that. Yadyadacharati shreshtas tattadeva itarajana. So it's important for the leaders of society to follow the injunctions of the scripture. Yes, no leaders of society is going to override the scriptures. And that's the basis of everything. Yes, whether you are fully pure or you are not. Yes, you have to follow the injunctions of the scripture. Yes, the basic injunctions. And without which, what's the basis? Then everyone will have their own theory of what needs to be done. How do you know you're pure? Everyone says, okay, I'm pure, I don't have to follow the injunctions anymore. Finished. And that's what's happening right now. Yes. I know this. I know that this is what was said, and hence I shall kill everyone on this planet. So what the hell are you talking about? What are you drinking? Yes. So yeah, that Brahmanical, the Varnashram has to be followed. But as you said, if it's done for the purpose of pleasing Krishna, then it becomes Daivi Varnashram. It becomes actually purified. In one sense, Krishna is saying that, Srila Prabhupada is saying, right, that Krishna resides within the heart of this devotee. And so wherever the devotee goes, Krishna comes. He's never freed. He's never free from the personal association of Krishna. Yes. What is that Narottam Das Thakur is praying? Tomara Ridhaya Sada Govinda Vishram Govinda Kahena Mora Vaishnava Paran. Yes. That my abode, that Krishna's abode is the heart of the devotee. And Krishna says that my heart is just the devotee. Within my heart is just the devotee. So that, for the devotee there is no separation in one sense. Externally, yes. There is this sambhoga and vipralamba, there is meeting and separation. Yes. Another perspective is that in separation sometimes the Lord reveals Himself even more sweetly. Yes. But that's a different topic. We're getting into very, very deep, loving relationships. But does that answer your question? Yeah. Any other corrections, comments? Wake up. Yes.
Thank you so very much that you fill the gap of the speaker. That's very challenging. Without any preparation, without anything, you so nicely celebrated like the topic and very nice discussion and very nice covered. We did not feel even went out of the topic and very nicely you covered that the purpose and the translation and the loss.
Thank you. It's the audience. It's the power of the audience. When most people are not sleeping, then it helps.
It was very, very interactive.
Thank you. Jai. Prabhupada ki. Tishtadumna brahmachari ki jai. Is that what it is? Reference no, this is during the Mahaprakash. Okay. So during that scene,
Okay. So I thought like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself speaking like
that is he said, this is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting and then he's watching all the devotees. And the Suprema Brahmachari, he calls him and he says, every lifetime you are your mind is better because everything you get, you give it to me. That is why I enjoy taking everything. When he reaches into the bag, the Suprema is begging and reaches into his bag and this is the last lifetime he was Sudama. So, very beautiful. That's coming from even Kolavich Sridhar.
full of just yeah. Banana leaf.
That Relevant Radio stays on the air. It's that avenue to help bring fallen away Catholics back into the fold, back to the sacraments, back to Jesus. Rarely a day goes by that we don't hear from someone who has told us that whatever they heard, something on Relevant Radio was the catalyst to start them back on their journey into the church. And sometimes after decades away from the sacraments. I shared earlier, Jim, that email from John, who in Los Angeles said, I had been away from confession for 33 years. So when you hear a story like that, you know it's all those prior donations over the past months, over the past years that have kept Relevant Radio on the air so that we would be there when that person needed to hear that one thing that would soften their heart, that would begin that process of coming back to the church. Each one